I'm going to take a slightly different emphasis. First, I'm going to ask a question. And the question is, how do we make ordinary people, a number of them, build extraordinary solutions with BPM underpinnings? So I'll let the question hang in there. Mani, Ashok, we've been building this product for the last 3 years. Ashok has started this company. He's the CTO, creator of this product. And his vision is actually to take all that we've been talking about over the last 1.5 days, and how do we deliver it in a very simple way that encourages people to come onto this platform and create the next generation solutions. In so doing, while we were grappling with this question, a set of issues immediately come to the forefront. It's not that you haven't heard about it or you haven't dealt about it, but I may be going over it and you may think I'm repeating, but it's important to understand the perspective that we have brought to this product. So in that sense, I'll leave this slide just not to exclude the enterprises. We are yet to release this product. We hope to release it maybe in about very shortly. But nevertheless, we've been talking about this to people in the industry, and we've been getting some good feedbacks. And sort of this is a very good opportunity for us to lift the veil off the product the first time to an audience like this, and your reactions, your questions is certainly going to help us in shaping it better. We are working with 3-4 beta customers, just to give you a flavor. One is a sports company. Fan engagement is the objective. And they are talking to us. They are going to actually sit with us and describe what they actually want with respect to fan engagement. And they see a potential in making use of this well. That's one kind of flavor. Second is a typical recruitment company. I don't know why, but everywhere recruitment companies seem to have some flux and challenges. And so this is a 1,500 plus organization which services very large customers like Bank of America and a whole lot of others. And with them, we have started work. A third company is actually into surveillance. They actually have those cameras and videos distributed across geographies, locations. And the key there is incidents, events. And lastly, just to kind of drive home the point, I was talking to a consultant, and what we did was we actually, in the course of our dialogue conversation, we wondered whether we can develop a game. And this is a question that keeps coming to me when I talk to young people. When we say something, when we try to describe the product, they ask us, oh, can I develop games? And so this provoked us, and actually we sat down And we used BPM, event action, and we sort of actually built a small game, not like the Temple Run or the Angry Birds kind, dull, drab game, but nevertheless, here was a system responding and a human responding, trying to outwit each other. And the whole thing was modeled on events. So that's just to give you an idea that what we are attempting to do is basically encourage a lot of people to not be intimidated by all that we've been talking about, to come on board and create a whole bunch of creative solutions, filling in the white spaces, self-serving mode. So that's the attempt, that's the goal that has been, that we are pursuing, and that's the question that we've been asking ourselves, what does it take to do that? Now, this slide is actually kind of, at once brings the tensions. I've been kind of going through this to try and see what's happening. And I see there's an intense debate going on about BPM. There have been people kind of reacting very strongly to the disappointments coming from BPM exercises. And that's an extreme reaction picked up very recently, and the sources are listed there, but that's a extreme reaction. On the other side, every day when we go in and talk, we find students wanting to be entrepreneurs, young people, people who do things differently, who are so used to a very different way of working and putting together things. That's the world we live in. And interestingly, it provokes a thought. Is the BPM as we know applicable to the kind of environment that's there? Will it actually fit in there well? Can we really see some good things coming out of it? And the answer seems to be, yes, it is. And somehow the whole dialogue, the blogs, everything is talking about the future of BPM. And we felt that the future is BPM. And so therefore, we have set ourselves a goal telling that let's democratize it. Let's take it to as many people as is possible. The first thing is, and in this context, I think this is important, not to kind of sound preachy, but these were our guiding philosophies, and I thought it's important that we kind of share it with you. Every time we talk to people, many of them tell, we want a standardized process. Here we would like to be deviants. Why standardized process? Actually, the effort should be in standardizing conventions. Let the processes take as many flavors. As long as they work, it's fine. As long as they give you the required efficiency, it's fine. Let it be. Why give the emphasis of standardization to processes? Why not shift the emphasis of standardization to conventions? The next thought that occurred to us, which everybody has been talking about, let events be the organizing principle. Let's not rush into describing a process, but the question is, can we organize everything around events? Maybe 10 years ago, coming from a product ERP background, I always used to wonder why on the left side there is a bunch of menus. And I come in and I look at those menus, but actually I would rather be happy responding to a set of events which take me to the relevant part of the product to accomplish a task. But somehow the products were designed with conventional menus. So events being the organizing principle was the second thought that occurred to us. And third is, I hear people talking about a core BPM and then extensions of that in terms of keeping up with times like mobile or the social. We felt that today everything of this forms the core. The BPM, the mobility, the ubiquity are not separate things but have to be the core. And any thought has to recognize all of that together. So these are not afterthoughts anymore. They are part of the way we work. Then comes the architecture. If we are going to serve a crowd, going to get a crowd, the question we need to ask is it internet scale? Can the architecture withstand a lot of people coming and doing the models, building models, a whole bunch of people consuming executable apps on that? Can it withstand that kind of a crowd? Is it scalable? And there are a lot of talk about Internet of Things, which means once again we go back to architecture. Is it ready to handle that kind of event-driven interactions among devices, among people, spread across? And here we have done some things, we call it the enterprise service switch. Very similar to what has been achieved in the protocol communications, or the typical communication switch. So something like that, where we can guarantee that something that comes in at one point, one endpoint, can be delivered to another safely, securely, absolutely, targeted wherever it needs to go. And that's one of those technical architectures that we have actually built. Here I may be provoking some reactions, but it's good to have a debate. The legacy systems cannot survive the way they are today. And somebody was talking about the tail this morning. So in that sense, there will be slowly the pieces of the legacies that keep transforming. So at some point, the legacy system will serve as data store, and everything else about it in the form of interaction would have transformed to the new. So some people even go to the extreme and tell ERP is dead. Now, I don't want to make an extreme statement like that, but they'll stay there for some time, but they will serve more as data stores. Hey, no. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Miniature apps will be the future, simple, nimble, discoverable, and cooperative. And all attempts will go towards making it fun, making it simple. And the running theme has been over the last 1.5 days, simplicity. And I think the simplicity will go in there too, in the way the apps are constructed and used. Gamification and a whole lot of things, people coming to task coming to people. We have had those presentations and discussions. But it's all about how people will be engaged in the design of work and in the way that work is getting done. So people engagement will receive a lot more emphasis and attention. And here again, people that we've been talking to tell processes are our assets. And we would like to again take a deviant stand here. It's the enabling system and people that are going to be assets, not truly the process, because process can change. And especially in the nature of ad hoc processes, they are bound to change. So that's the emphasis. So these questions led us to the barriers. What does it take? Why would a crowd not adopt a platform such as this? And the barrier, it occurred to us, came in these forms. The technology itself, to do A, go there. To do B, go here. To do C, bring this. Installation, dealing with all of that, the technology itself. And scalability and speed was a limiting factor. So that kind of worries people. They are not able to actually take it. Third one, we find that there's a tremendous amount of effort to put in learning. So that becomes a significant barrier. The fourth we felt was the total cost of ownership. So what does it take for people to actually use these kind of tools? Where does it lead them? Can they actually afford it? So this is the fourth. The fifth barrier, in our opinion, is actually change management. We felt that in the context of the environment today, how easy or difficult it is to keep changing. So change management becomes a very big barrier. Everybody talked about this. Many people raised these issues, and we've been having conversations where people ask, how are you actually going to deal with integration? That's not going to go away. And integration is a bigger issue here, so that's the other barrier. And we have the mindsets and the ERP legacies, which again come in the way of truly democratizing BPM-based platform. So what we have done with this, we have been able to bring a few of those barriers down. And we are still working on some areas such as change and integration. Hopefully we'll bring that barrier down a little bit more. We can't do much about the mindset and the ERP legacies for the moment. So the way we went about building the product, we put community right in the center. The community, around the community, we built all this, the mobile, the social, and the crowd. And then we brought in the BPM and deployment. And then we brought in the BAM and analytics, and finally the marketplace. So you see, it's gone beyond BPM. And the emphasis has shifted to actually the community. And what we are attempting to do is give them a basic minimum with BPM underpinnings with which they can actually build enterprise class applications. Now, the interfaces, by so doing, we discovered that the interfaces actually help us prepare for the future. The interfaces is, for example, by bringing social and BPM together, you'll soon see in the product, people have a natural way of conversation around events, around actions, and by bringing these two together, we found that it lends itself to an insight and an analysis when the unstructured data and the structured data come together. So still a lot of work to be done, but by bringing this, we have set ourselves for deriving those intelligence. This interface actually helps us work towards people and better people task engagement. So,
excuse me, Mani, if you have a demo.
Yep.
Yes, we have.
5 minutes.
Just about that, I'm sorry. So this kind of lays the background with which we approach the product, Ashok. We have lined two. Last point that I would like to make is that this entire thing has been in a container with a footprint of just under 10 MB. So that's the technology that we've done and some of the patents that has been applied for. Ashok, can we go to the demo?
Yeah.
No, the demo slide so that I can quickly explain. So that then, just go to the demo slide. Yeah. So we have a very small demo. We don't want to dazzle you with all the BPMs and other things. This is a very small demo. What we have done is there is a Facebook post. There is a listener inside Appiyo that actually traps that event, comes in here, and then it's subjected to a discussion and a process that is applied to it. And then there is a post back into Facebook. This is the demo that we are going to show. And Ashok,
Yeah, I'll take it off. I'm going to quickly run through this for want of time. So the launch of the product, you get to see some sort of a social kind of an environment. That is what it is. So I'm going to quickly get into Facebook and a poster. I'm basically taking some image out there. So that's a post. So it takes around a few seconds to arrive within Appiyo. So I will show you the process which we are going to do to handle this, basically. So all of this is on the cloud, and the entire platform you're seeing out here is actually free to use. It's very simple to sign up and use this platform. We are basically using this flow to, while that post is arriving, I will show you a debugger capability which we have built in to the flow, which is kind of unique, which is a debugger flow on the cloud. So you can see here, you can step through the process. While we are doing that, that post from Facebook has arrived. So this is, again, we are saying that it's waiting for a user task to happen. I'm going to take another window. So there are now 3 posts pending out for me. So this is a Facebook post which has arrived as a task which we need to handle within this product. At every point, you can see the instance data where the particular process stays, and you can take up the activity, and you will see the same penguin image coming out here. While you're at it, you can initiate a discussion. This is where we bring about the marriage of, start a discussion, and the group is BPM. Next, I'm posting it too. I'm going to keep it short. So I can post anything here. I'm going to just show a capability to post an image in that discussion. I can preview that. And you can also attach a document. I'm going to quickly attach a document here. That's also another penguin image. And we can submit it. So I'm going to act on this particular issue. I'm going to say that problem, has been taken up. And I'm going to allocate it to money. I submit. So what we get here is immediately a post within Facebook acknowledging the problem has been taken up. So we can interact with Facebook. So immediately the next task would have arrived, which is basically for somebody to go look at it. He could do a discussion out there. He could pick it up. He can pass a complaint. The problem has been fixed. And he submits it. And the same again is reflected within Facebook. So you get to see that. So basically, any event, we can actually choose the kind of events we want to trap within various products. Here we have shown Facebook as an example, and we can bring it on board, and you can socialize on it, and that being running a discussion around it, and you would be able to resolve it, and then have a monitoring mechanism. I would like to show you one more thing before we move on. So what capability we provide is, okay, you're not part of it. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to take a see, this is another case which has really happened. Somebody complained about it. What capability we provide is, while in a discussion, we can attach a process. Suppose here, the case has been somebody has complained about an uprooted tree. So we can actually have the civic problem reporting process attached to that particular discussion, and people can actually go through with the complaint and actually view all the discussions happening inside while the problem was resolved, and finally the solution being the problem being solved. So this is one way of looking at it. And if I were to quickly show you other features of the product once again. The container. We provide a container on the cloud. So if you sign up today, you get a slice of a cloud dedicated to yourself, and that is your sandbox, and by default on our platform, that container is replicated. So that's why you see 2 copies of each. And so this is available, and the processes deployed inside this container is available as REST APIs for anybody to consume from anywhere. So that is one capability we bring on the platform. And then there is this open-ended case management we have. Quickly would like to show it and move on. So it's pretty flexible in the sense, I'm sorry, I don't have one second, sorry. My social, yeah. I can cases for which basically the categories can be defined on the fly. It needn't be regimented. And also another feature we offer is follow or unfollow. So the group feels that they don't want to be listening on this particular stream of discussion, they can unfollow themselves. People who want to join the discussion can follow the discussion. So we give you that feature as well. So the configuration of events happens here. So I can change this to, currently I would not be able to, okay, it's fixed. So you can define the cases the way in this case we have chosen open, closed, whatever the categories are. It could be different for different case you open. So we are providing a flexible case management tool here, and this can be attached to those discussions or those events which are happening on the cloud anywhere. It could be it could be within Salesforce, it could be within SAP, it could be a Facebook event. And we bring it on board and we resolve it. And under the hood, it is the same old BPM tool. So it supports all of BPMN and all the complexities which are involved with BPMN. Under the hood is that, so we will refrain from showing that. So we also have something called the web service introspection. I have a web service call going to the weather department. I can execute that and actually tell you what is, if we know the URL of this place, I think 93450. So you can execute in Pacific Grove, and we are at 61 degrees. So we bring in all the capabilities into a simple to use on the cloud, free, how do I put it? Free for all, and we don't, it is actually free. You can sign up as if you sign up on a Facebook account, and you can enjoy the entirety of BPM. And the underlying all of this is, why are we giving all this free, is the marketplace. So we expect people would come and build process applications and actually put it up in the marketplace. And that is our business model when enterprises come and look into them, and they can consume it, and that's when we get to sell our containers. Thank you, Breeze. I think we overshot our time.